Prosper uses a browser. Any browser would do, from Safari to Chrome to IE to Edge to Firefox to any major browser. Uh, the browser usually has a default language. Like if you are in a certain area, you have your default language in English. If others, you have default language in Arabic or in Italian or in French or any other language that you have. Once Prosper detects that browser language and tries to show the menus, all the menus and all the messages that you see on the screen, the stuff that is constant, like this stuff, and the stuff here. When you say here the drag column to group or reorder, every message and every menu that is constant across Prosper will try to automatically display it in that language if there is a file, a resource file for that language. But Prosper does not show every, does not convert the data, for example, or the configuration. Let me show you a setup where we go to an Italian customer, where Italian database, where they have the data, the menus are in Italian. You don't see duplicate, you see duplica, modifica, inserisci for new, funzioni. The functions that you see here are in Italian. Some of them are in Italian, some of them are left in English, depending on how the customer wants. You see the cerca up there. Okay, but one thing you can see is the data that is in here. This is, and the data that is in here. The message is raggruppa o riordina I valori della colonna. But this is name and description, they're left in English because this data we don't know. This is specific to this database. If it is specific to this database, we cannot predict in advance how it should be, and we cannot translate it. That's why we keep it up to the translator. We give it to the configurator. We give a tool to the configurator called translation memory that will capture. Once you enable that tool, you enable it using after login. You run an event function called set translation memory on. Once you set the translation memory on, the system will capture all the text that is found in a configuration, in the configuration database, like the object names, the column names, and the views, the prompts, all the events that the customer configured, or the configurator did for this specific customer. He will do it usually in English, and we can translate it to any other language that you want to, or he can do it in Italian or in Arabic or anything, and we can translate it to any other language that you want to. But this translation memory is used for this. We don't have it configured in other places. I have it here configured in Arabic, but I'm not going to show you the Arabic part where it is configured in Arabic. This is the translation memory that once, if it's needed, and you have your users, if your users are all Italian, you don't have to do that. You configure all the configuration, you do it in Italian, and the resource files that ship with Prosper will come with Italian, so you will have a complete Italian. If you have an English database, also the same thing. But where you need the translation memory is where you have, for example, you have a configuration in English, and you have customers or viewers or users of Prosper that are either Italian or English or French. So you did the configuration in one language. You cannot do the configuration in more than one language, and your users are are different languages. So what you need to do, you enable the translation memory. The translation memory will capture all the strings that are found in the configuration and will put them in a table called the translation memory table. It would allow you to ship that table to somebody that can translate it to a translation service, or you can do it yourself if you have someone that can do it. This is to cover the browser language and the translation memory of Prosper. Thank you.